Hello everyone, you're welcome to my channel. I'm Gift Time by name. If you're stopping by for the first time, and to my returning subscribers, I want to thank you for your support. On today's tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to achieve this bubu dress with a puff sleeve and fitted at the waistline. I also beaded the neckline, as you can see from the video. So if you're interested on this tutorial, kindly stay tuned as we proceed. I'll be making 3.5 yards of this damask fabric, and I'll be using this satin. I also use Mikado for the neckline, and I'll be using half yard of Mikado and half yard of satin. Lastly, I'll be using this elastic for this project. So now I'm going to fold it in such a way that I'm going to get my full length. So first of all, I'm folding the 3.5 into 2, as you can see. So next, I'm going to fold it again. So it's folded into 4, as you can see from the video. So because I want to cut both the front and that of the back together. So after laying it down properly, I'm going to cut out the neckline. So I'm going to measure 3 inches for my neck width. Now for the back, I'm going to be using 1.5 inches, and then I'm going to connect it. While for that of the front, I'm going to be using 6 inches, and then I'm going to connect it with a U-shape neckline, a round shape neckline. Next, to determine the length of the sleeve, I'm going to measure from the nape of the neck to my desired length. I want the sleeve to reach me at my wrist. So the nape of the neck is that bone at the center of your back. Now, because I want a puff sleeve, to determine how full I want it to be, I'm going to measure 18 inches. So from there, where I'm illustrating with my hands, it's 18 to 20 inches. I measure 20 inches. So it's 20 inches. So that's it. So next, I'm going to measure from my shoulder to my bust region, and then from the bust region to my waist. All these points I'm marking is just to get from my shoulder to where I want the cowl effect to stop. So from my shoulder measuring all the way to where I want it to stop, it will measure 33 inches. That is the line I'm drawing across. So those points I was marking, shoulder to bust, bust to waist, and bust to hip, and all that is just to get to this point. So it is 5 inches above my knee. So I'm measuring the full length, and I'm going to mark it there. So that's the line at that end. So next, I'm going to measure this point for you to see. It's 33 inches from my shoulder to this point. So that is where I want the cowl effect to stop. So I'm going to connect the line to this my sleeve opening. So now I'm going to take my hip measurement, divide by 4, and then I'm going to add extra 4 because it's a free dress. It's a bubu dress. So after getting that point, I'm going to connect it to this my sleeve opening with a curve, as you can see. So next, I'm going to cut out my back opening, that is the back depth. Next, I'm going to cut out the sleeve region and then curve it and cut all the way till I get to the hem of the dress. So after doing it this way, I'm going to flip it in such a way I'm going to cut out the front neckline. So I'm going to fold it into 2, whereby the sleeves are facing each other. This is how you're going to turn it over so that you don't cut the front neckline together with the back. So now, as you can see, I'm cutting out the front neckline. I'll also notch the parts the two of them connect, both the front and the back, so that I'll be able to know. So now I'm going to cut that to facing. So I'm going to place my fabric like so, and then I'm going to place the lining. This is the lining, this is the door face. I'm going to fold it and then place it underneath my main damask fabric, as you can see from the video. So I'm just going to follow this neck line and cut it off. After doing that, I'm going to measure how long I want the lining to be. So I'm going to make it 4 inches extra. So that's what I'm going to mark right there. I'm just going to mark 4 inches round this neckline I have indicated. So the video explains it much better. So after doing that, I'm going to cut it off. So this will serve as my lining because I don't want to use bias. So I want to give it a good turnover. So next, I'm going to be cutting out the scallop. I'm going to be taking my paper as well, and I'm going to place it right where the front neckline stop because this scallop will be at the front. So that's why I notched it at first so that I will not cut the back together. So I'm going to cut out the neckline. As you can see, I'm using my paper, my pattern paper for this part. So after cutting this neckline region, so I'm going to take off the pattern paper. Next, I'm going to measure the folded part, which is the center front. I'm going to be taking 7 inches downwards. That is how long I want the scallop at the center part to be. So after marking that 7 inches, I'm going to go to the shoulder part and I'm going to be marking 5 inches. So I'm going to connect this 5 inches all the way. By the time I get to somewhere around the midpoint, I'm just going to connect it to that 7 inches I indicated, and then I'm going to cut it off. So we have something of this nature. This is the shape I'll be working with my scallop. So I'm going to be adding my scallop at the tip. Now I'm going to fold it into 2. I've gone ahead to fold it. So this is 7 inches, and this I'm going to reduce this to 4 inches, no longer 5 inches. I felt it was way too big. So I'm just going to reduce it and blend it into that 7 inches. So that's what I'm doing right here. So this shape is perfect for me. It's not too big. So now I'll be creating the scallop, and what I'll be needing is 3 inches a circle. So that's that shape. I just measured any round thing and I got this. So it's measuring 3 inches. So I'm just going to draw the circle as you can see from the video, and then I'm going to cut out this circle shape. So this is what I'll be working with. Next, I'm going to fold it into 2. So this is the easiest way to get your scallop. So after folding it into 2, I'm just going to place it at the hem, and then I'm going to draw the semicircle. So I'm just going to draw and then connect it all together, as you can see from the video. I'm using pen, not a marker, because my marker was no longer available at this moment. So when I get to the midpoint, I'm just going to connect it, as you can see from the video. I'm not going to draw the semicircle, so that is how I formed the shape. So I'm going to fold it into 2 just to cut all of them together, so I don't need to cut one part, the left part and the right part. So after cutting them, this is the shape, this is what it looks like. Next, I'm going to place it on my Mikado fabric. I'm going to be cutting 2 pieces of this. So I'm going to place my Mikado fabric into 2, and then I'm going to follow this shape and cut it. So you can use your pin to pin them down so that you can get the actual shape. Go ahead to cut it gradually. Don't be too fast because it's technical. You just need to get the shape that you need. So you don't need to rush when doing this. So after getting the shape, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add hairstay to one of them. As you can see, this is the one that has hairstay. The other one doesn't have it. The other one I'm using it as lining purpose. So next, I'm going to join right side together, and then I'm going to follow the scallop. I'm going to sew all through. So this is it. I've brought it to my machine, and then I'm just going to follow the line. It's a process that you just have to do carefully because it's curvy. So just take your time and do it. After doing that, I went ahead to actually notch all the points so that it will be easy for me to turn over. I did not show that part. So after notching, I'm just going to flip them over. Then you can use whatever tool you have just to bring out those shape outward. So this is it. This is how it looks like. So next I'm going to be adding the elastic to the sleeve. What I'm doing, I'm going to measure my wrist where the sleeve will stop. So I'm going to measure that point. Whatever value I get, I'm going to minus 2 inches from it to cut my elastic, because you don't need the exact, it's elastic so it will stretch. You don't need the exact measurement you measured, I mean. So I'm going to cut 2 inches shorter than it. So I'm going to cut 2 because I'll be using for both sides. So now this is the opening we left for the sleeve. So I'm going to fold it. I'm going to hem it the way you hem the down of any, either a dress or a skirt or a blouse. So that's what I'm going to do. Just fold it twice and then use your pin to just help you to fold it properly so that you can get to the other parts properly. So after that, I'm going to sew. As you can see, I'm just going to sew all through till I get to the other end. This is the sewing process of what I just explained. So I've got to the end of it, and this is how it looks like after sewing. Next, I'm going to be passing my elastic at that opening. So I'm going to take my safety pin and then connect it with my elastic, as you can see from the video. Next, I'm just going to pass it all through. So I'm going to be passing the elastic with the help of the safety pin into that opening where we just hemmed. Now, by the time you've gotten a reasonable amount of elastic in that opening, what you will do, the first part of elastic, that is this part, you're going to use your pin to pin it down, or you're going to sew it. If not, the whole elastic will be passed in and you'll be looking for that other end. So by the time you pass your elastic through the whole opening, because it's a bit long, when you get to the other end, you have to also sew and remove your safety pin, and then you join the two hands together. Now for the waistband, it's fitted at the waist region. So what I'll be doing, I'll be taking a long piece that can go around my waist. It will be measuring 7 inches in height and 25 inches in length. That means how long it will be. I'll be having 2 of it, not just one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fold them into 2, as you can see from the video, and then sew all through. By the time I'm going to sew the 2 ends and then just leave a bit at the midpoint to flip the right part over. So after sewing, I'm going to iron. Then the opening, I'm going to use my hemming gum to just stick them together. So this is what it looks like. So this is what I'll be attaching at the waist to give it that fitted look. So what I'm going to do now, this is the front part of the dress, the outfits, where the neckline is much deeper. So I'm going to take the midpoints. I'm going to mark the midpoint. That's what I'm going to do. The yellow chalk you are seeing is the midpoint I just marked. So after marking it, I'm going to measure from the shoulder to my waist region. So from the shoulder to my waist region is 16.5, but I'll be using 16 inches for this. That is where I'll be attaching this band I just created with my satin. That is where I'm going to be attaching it. So I've gone ahead to mark 16 inches. So I'm going to mark it on both sides, both the left and that of the right. So now, to determine where to really put it, now we've measured the distance. You're going to take your waist measurement, divide by 4. So whatever value you get, that's where you're going to mark from that center point. So my waist is 32 divided by 4, that is 8 inches. So from the midpoint, you are going to mark 8 inches, both for the left and that of the right. That is where you'll be attaching the band. So after marking the 2 points, I'm going to take the band now. As you can see, I'm going to be attaching it to those 2 lines I have drawn. So this is it. I'm going to be attached. I'm going to sew on it, but make sure when you're sewing, you don't join both the front and the back together. Just the front you'll be attaching this band to. So I've gone ahead to attach it, as you can see from the video. So this is it. It is just the front piece. I did not attach the back to it. So by the time you flip it over, you just see a stitch in front. So I attached it at the back of the dress. This is the wrong part of the dress, not the front. What I'll be doing next, I'm going to be attaching this scallop on the neckline of the dress. That is the front part of the dress. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get the outfit, which is this, and then get the front part. So after aligning it, I'm just going to place this on top, make sure that the midpoints align properly. So by the time I get it, I'm going to place it like so. Next, I'm going to sew all through. I'm going to, because by the time you are turning it with your lining, it's not going to show. But you can as well place your lining together and sew the three of them together. So I'm going to be taking the lining, right side facing the right part, and make sure that the front part align with the front part and the back part align with the back part. So what it simply means, the scallop is sandwiched in between the lining and that of the main fabric. So I'm going to sew the three of them together as illustrated with my hands. So after sewing, this is how it looks like. I'm going to now notch them and then flip the lining inward. So that is what I'm doing. And if you decide not to add this scallop design, you can also use this same method in turning your neck region. It makes it looks beautiful using a facing compared to bias. To me personally, I love using facing on certain style or on certain outfits. So after that, I'm going to use my hemming gum to glue this scallop on the main fabric so that it stays together. Now for the sleeve, I'm going to join them together and I'm going to sew all through till I get to the hem part of this dress. So this is the hemming gum I've been making reference all through in this video. I've gone ahead to use it to attach the scallop at the neckline, as you can see. Then also at the down part of this dress, I'm going to still use this hemming gum to glue it together. I don't want any stitches to show. So I've gone ahead to sew the entire part of this dress, as you can see from the video. And lastly, I'm going to be hand beading these parts of the dress, the scallop parts. So if you've watched to this extent, please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Bye.